Yeah guys, so in this video we are going to cover about two topics. One is about triggers, another one is views in SQL. So triggers are nothing but the name itself you can easily understand. Trigger is a functionality where it is going to execute a script on some base of condition. So when you hit a trigger of the gun, the bullet will get released, correct? So like the same, when the condition matches, it is going to execute some particular SQL script. That is what called trigger. Trigger normally can be applied on DML commands like insert or update or delete in our real-time examples actually. So whenever you have inserted any record into a table, then you can perform some SQL script. Whatever you can, according to your logic, you can perform any particular script can be executed according to the business requirement. So even on update, even on delete also, you can perform all these particular transactions, guys. First of all, how to write a trigger. So maybe one more thing I just want to add here every day. So in case if any syntax is not clear to you in SQL Server, so if you go to this view, there is a particular window called Template Explorer, guys. So if you click this, you will have the list of folders available. So in case if you want to create or insert any table, so in case if you want to create a database, drop a database, like that, for everything, for every SQL syntaxes available in SQL Server, you can find the syntax of that particular query by using this particular template explorer, template browser. So here it is sorted in an ascending order A to Z. So according to that, whichever you want to get information, you can use it that one. In case if you want to work with index also, you can see. So to create index, very simple, create index name on which table, on which column. This we are already covered in last SQL topics. So I hope you remember. So like the same, even in case if you want to create a stored procedure, you can see create a stored procedure template. So create procedure, procedure name, parameters, as you can have begin, end. So like that, it will give you the basic overview and basic syntax you can remember. Let's get into the topic. So that is what trigger. So in case if I want to create a trigger, so how we can create a trigger? This is the example. Okay, so now you can see create trigger. Guys, normally there will be two type of triggers will be there, before and update. So but SQL Server is supporting only after, sorry, before and after. So SQL Server is supporting only after triggers. So that means before insert, before update, before delete are not working here. So you can perform only transactions like after insert, after update, after delete you can create. So that is what you need to understand from this syntax. You can see the syntax, create trigger. So this is the schema name. You can use DBO or any other. So after that you can write the trigger name. So on what is the table name, after what is the logic, whether it is after update or after insert, that is what we are going to create. This is what the basic syntax. So I am just trying to tell you that. So this particular syntax can help you to recollect the particular query syntax whenever you are not able to recollect it. So now let's get back to our particular query, and let me create a dummy database first. Create database testdb. So it was created. So now we are going to use the testdb. So creating a table. So create table test. So here we have ID integer, identity, or else let's take normal one in ID, name and age. That's it. So here whenever there is insert in this particular table, I just want to make it log. I mean, I just want to make a copy of that particular information inside another table. That is the reason I am just going to take another table, test data backup. So here I just want to keep the same information which is inserting into this. I just want to make a copy here also. So after that I need to have two more columns additionally. Date created on, otherwise date of insert. So that is going to, I am taking it as date time. Remarks var_char of max. Max means I can store n number of characters. So now we have two tables. I am just creating them. So two tables are created. So if you go to refresh, under testdb there are tables. You can see test data backup. Now these two tables are ready. So what is my requirement? As I said, whenever you insert a record into the test, the same record need to make a copy here also, backup. Okay, then you can use this trigger create trigger t1 or any other name you can use. Okay, on which table? So on test table. So on test table, after insert, so here I can execute some script as it is, as begin and end. Okay, so what is the script I am trying to execute here means, so whenever there is a insertion here, I need to insert the same record here also. So first of all, I need to get the data which is inserting into the table. So for that we need to have some variable, declare id which is of integer type, declare name which is of var_char type, so age which is of integer type. That means you need to take some variables where you can get data that is inserting on this particular test table, guys. So here you can do one thing. So select id comma name comma age from, so here you should not take test, there is a predefined class called inserted. There will be two predefined classes, inserted which works for insert and update, deleted for deleted record. You can take some instance here. I means nothing but it's an alias name for inserted. So what I will do here, I can write I dot if you want to write a perfect program. So then what I will do, this id whichever I am getting from the new inserted record, so that I will store into this id variable, whatever the value is there, so that will copy into this variable by the select statement. So by the same you can get name, so by the same you can get age also. So that means from this inserted record, inserted class, you will get which are the values that we are trying to insert on the table test. So those three column values we stored in these three variables actually. So after that what I will do, so what is my intention, I just want to keep a backup in this particular test data backup table. So here I can write an insert command, insert into test data backup, so values of, so instead of id I can pass value whatever we are getting from the inserted record id. So like the same I can pass name, I can pass age property. After that I need to pass this date of insert, date time property. So here similar to SYS date in SQL Server we have get date function, guys. So where it is going to insert get the date and time from your PC settings. So this is a predefined function. Next, remarks. In remarks I am going to write inserted a record. That's it. So when you insert on this test table, after insert this is going to execute the script. Whatever the record that I am inserting, the values will be fetching into these variables. From these variables we are making a copy into the another table. This is just an example, no need to use only this thing. You can perform according to your requirement, guys. So simply let me execute this. So you can see commands completed. Yeah. So now this trigger is getting saved in the database. Now let's insert record into this test table. So insert into test values of some 101, so user 1 comma age 25. If I execute this, there will be two rows affected, because one row was affected with normal insert syntax, one row was affected due to the trigger. So now let us select both tables, select star from test, select star from test data backup. Now you can see In test table we got the normal record. Due to the trigger, the same data was copied here, 101, user 1, age, and additionally whatever I given it here. So like the same you can perform on update, like the same you can perform on delete also. So for delete, how you can do? So here even delete on test table. So here you are going to take from deleted class, deleted a record, that's it. So now you can simply save this trigger. So now delete from test where id equal to 101. So now you can see one row affected. So if I go and test in these tables, you can see the first one was empty. Oh, sorry guys, this is the problem. Here we have to use after delete, so then it will perform. Now let me insert one more record, 102, user 2. Now you can see, so in test table you have 102 record. Now let me delete that record. That record will be saved here along with a remark deleted. So delete from test where id is equal to 102. So if I execute, you can see there are two rows affected. So if I go to the selection, you can see here empty because the record was deleted. Here you can see the record was saved into this table. So like that you can perform any script will need to get execute on every insert or update or whatever the clause you are mentioning here. So this is how triggers will be helpful for us. And one more thing, so the next topic we have is views. View is nothing but it is a virtual table guys. View is nothing but it is a virtual table. So where it is going to be a shortcut of some script whatever we are writing. So let me insert few records into this test table, so the same table again. So here we have some records example. So here there is some script actually. So select id comma name from test where id greater than 102. Some SQL script is there. So here I am writing only one. Just imagine there if there is some random script is there. So you can save this as a view. Create view some v1. So create view v1. Now you can see v1 will be like a virtual table, that is nothing but shortcut of your select statement. Now if I write select star from v1, so this is going to execute whatever the script that we wrote, that it is going to fetch records from id and name. So columns from test table id and name where id is greater than 102. The same is getting executed, and this view also will behave like a table. So the people who don't know whether it is a view, they can treat it as a view also. sp help v1, you can see. So it is going to work like a table. If you remember yesterday I said to get the details of any particular table, you can use this sp help. You can see it is going to be the type of view. So normally if I go with sp help for test, sp help for test, you can see it is going to show it as a user table. But for views you can see view here. According to that you can come to know. So here you can see only whatever the columns you are selecting in this particular select statement, those will be the columns of that particular table, ID and name. So for this view, ID and name are the columns. So it is not an actual table, but it looks like a table. So what is the advantage of using views means? So if you want to provide access to any of the people like a client or testing team or any other person who don't have knowledge on this SQL syntaxes, so in case if you want to provide access only where they can view the data, they cannot modify, they cannot insert, or they cannot do anything. So at such case you can use these views whenever you want to give access only to view the data, not to insert, not to update, not to delete. So at that time this view will be helpful for us. So I hope this is clear, this triggers and views topics. So that's the end of our SQL server. If anything from my side, do let me know. Thank you so much.